up, you amazing hackers? It's your boy, the Humble Hacker from Shutdown, Sharonin, back with another walkthrough, and today we're going to be going over Sunset Midnight. So, this one's going to be a pretty interesting room. We're going to be getting into some sequel, which is something that I don't think that we've done before on this, but we're going to have grand old time, I suppose, getting that worked out. So don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe and stay updated on future content. Now, without any further ado, let's get it. The first thing that we always start with is our in-map scan. Let's make sure that we have our IP address first. Just go ahead and copy that, and I think I'm just gonna open up Terminator here, if I could spell it correctly. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to head to our in-map. Now, just with our -sc for safe scripts and -sv to enumerate versions, and see what it has in the top thou wow for the moment here. Because these tend to go very, very, very quickly. Okay, and we have our port 22 open. We have port 80 open. Okay, WordPress. Okay, so it looks like it looks like it's working with WordPress here, and we have MySQL open as well. Alright, so let's check port 80, start from the top down. As we all remember the process, if we see port 22, leave it alone unless we have legit credentials for it. And since port 80 is next up in line, we can start with that. So we're going to use for our directory busting here. Specify our word list, and then we're going to specify our URL and our point where we're going to be fuzzing, which is right here. Let's colorize it. Let's be verbose so it pulls out the full path, and let's filter a default of 1 line, and let's run that. Okay, so we do have WordPress here, and it looks like that this might be an issue, because whenever we see a trend with then it makes it easier to be more pinpoint accurate with our content discovery and fuzzing. So we already filtered out 1 line here, but now we're seeing a pattern of lines, words, and size have the exact same data within them all. Now, the cool part with this is that you don't need to put each and every one of these here to be filtered out. You can just add on one additional one, and then it'll generalize the entire result. So anything that has lines equal to 497, we will not get any responses from those pages. So if we run it again with that filter, now see how it went straight to this path here. When we ran it last time, we had these 2 paths first, and then it went to this WP content. So it's just a little trick just to help be a little bit more pinpoint accurate with what data that we're not seeing, and then showing us that we're paying attention to what we're filtering out and why we're filtering it out. Alright, so now we're not getting anything except some WP paths here, which means that we only have one more option, which is to use WP scan. So let's use WP scan, and then specify our URL. There's our IP. Now we're going to use -e thrice. So, and that is to enumerate. So there's three things that we have to enumerate that are pretty much the main modules for this E-switch, which are all plugins, enumerate all the plugins, enumerate all of the themes, once I put the right flipping letter in there, AT for enumerate all the themes, and then enumerate all users. So again, we're telling WP-Scan to enumerate all the plugins that the WordPress site is using, to enumerate all the themes the WordPress site is using, and also doing user enumeration to see if we can get any users out here. So let's run this, and looks like the URL supplied redirects to SunSet Midnight. So that all that means is we just need to change this to SunSet Midnight. That's pretty like self-explanatory. So let's put that there. Now we run it. Now it's not giving us a problem. Because we specified the path that WordPress was actually looking for. So here we have some stuff. So we do have a WP admin path in here. And let's see what else. Okay, we was running 2017. Users identified. Okay, so looks like all it has is just admin. Now here's the overall problem with this. This is where enumeration will stop. Because if we enumerate the users and the only thing that we have is an admin, we could try password cracking, but that always leads to nowhere. If we had another user that was listed in here, yeah, we can most definitely attempt password cracking for that username, but if we only get just admin in here, we can leave the rest of the stuff alone. So now we are pretty much at a stopping point for anything related to WordPress that was on port 80. Now there's one more that we have that we did not look into yet, which is the last way to go here, and that is from MySQL. And excuse me. So now we need to try to figure out a way to get access to that. Now, since we already see that there is an admin or a root account there, the only other option that we would have in order to interact with the SQL is to see if we can crack the password there. So MySQL does not use admin as the admin administrator name. MySQL uses root as the admin name. So for using password cracking for this, we wouldn't use admin as it says here. We would use root instead. So we're going to do Hydra L is for the user, root, and then we're going to use a password word list here. Probably use the Rocky one. So root desktop tools. Don't worry, it's going to be completely different from your workstation, so don't verbally try to follow the path here. All right, so we have that arq.txt, and the host that we're attacking is SunSet Mid. Can't spell right. There we go. All right, and the service that we're attacking is MySQL threads 4. Okay, let's have it run. So it's gonna take the username root and then do what it just displayed right there. So now we have a login user here, which is root is the password, and root has a password of Robert, which is for what? Hollywood Shuffle, Robert Townsend, Meteor Man, Robert Townsend, Robert Redford, Roger Rabbit. Who framed him again? Oh yeah, that's right, Christopher Lloyd, because his time machine brought him to a time where everyone was cartoons, and then he turned into one and then went back and created an evil plot to destroy everybody in Toontown, and then decided to hide his identity under the alias of Dr. Emmett Brown. That kind of tracks, right? No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. Moving on. So now we have our login credentials for the root account on the MySQL database. So how do we interact with MySQL here? We simply call it first. We use our manners and we call it by its first name, which is MYSQL. Oh, sorry, I had the Oscar Minor Wiener theme song in my head for no reason. Midnight. Did I spell that correctly? Yes, I do. So now we're going to be going under the user root and using their password as Robert. Now, one thing I don't understand is, well, I think we can probably use this if we space this out. Okay, so now we have to keep this together. So let's close this out. I do not know why this is designed this way. I will look that up and update it in one of my other videos. So let's hit enter right there, and we are connected to the Maria played by Carlos Santana DB right there. All right. So now we are connected to the MySQL database. So now let's go ahead and start doing some basic enumerations. The first step, it starts our enumeration from MySQL always goes from a top down, meaning like the database. Okay, we have the database. We want to find what database we can get access to, and we do that by using show databases and make sure that we always end whatever our command is with a semicolon. And this will show all of our databases. So now that we see one, we pick one. So let's use the MySQL database there. Okay, so now that we're using it, we changed it. Now it says here that the database was changed. So now we need to see what's in the database, and what would normally be in the databases would be tables. So let's show tables. Okay, so now we have our tables here, and let's see. So let's dump everything in the user table and see what we find there. And how we do that, we go select star, meaning select everything from table name, semicolon, and enter. So let's see. Alright, so we have some data here. Now let's go back again. Okay, is this? Oh crap. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Start from the top again. Show databases. Now we're going to use let's switch it to WordPress DB. Get rid of that R. Okay. Show the tables here. Alright, so we have WP users. Okay. Select everything from WP users. Okay. And we have a user password, which is actually a salt with no pepper. Maybe some sea salt. No, kosher salt. So we have some sea salt right here in this section, in this user pass section. But unlikely that we can really crack this. So let's pull up Hashcat and get their examples. Okay, so we have the Hashcat wiki once this thing decides to not take all day. Oh, holy oodles of noodles. Okay. Uh, let's see here. My stuff is going down to a crawl. This is no go. Okay, no good. Okay, don't. Okay, good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's just. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to just. All right. Cool. Let's pick up where we left off. All right. What is this? This is P Bach. All right. So obviously this salt must be referencing a parrot of some sort. So let's see what this is. So let's go over to our example hashes and see if this finds a bark. No, it does not. What was the rest? In another $sign. Let's put that in a bark. Okay. This does not look like it's a PHP path. Alright, so obviously trying to crack this might not work. So since we already have access to this, what would our only other option really be? Another option that we could do is simply overwrite this, since we pretty much have access to it and access to sensitive sections, because we should not be able to see this at all. So we must be root admin under here. Root admin. We must be root under here. That's actually redundant if I say that because I said it twice. So okay, root. So since we have root access here, we should be able to overwrite this with our own passwords. So let's simply do an let's create our own hash here with echo and just enter in 1 2 3 4 6, and then simply pipe this to making it a different MD5. So we're just gonna write MD5 sum echo blank. Okay, and this is our new hash. That is this password right here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. All right, so let's go ahead and copy that. Right. Then update this hash with our new one. And how we're going to do that? Simply going to go. We're going to run update the WordPress users table. Whoops, did I put that there? There we go. And we're going to set the new password. So we're going to set this, and this is because this is what we need to say that we're setting. So here equals our new hash here of 1 2 3 4, where our ID is equal to 1. Oops, space this out. Okay, so we successfully changed a row. Now let's run this one more time. Let's go back at it again, or select everything from WordPress users. We can just go ahead and show that data there. And now this now has our MD5 hash in there that we just created. Okay, so now that that is done, let's go back to the future. No, sorry about that. Where's our WordPress site? There. And there was, what path was there? Oh, right, Sunset Midnight. Duh. Hold on. There we go. All right. So, oh, right. Okay, so let's find where that is at. We should find a login page somewhere in here. So let's fix this. Okay. Okay, we're getting too many of these line 496s, so let's trim that fat off that derriere over there. Okay, so we have WP content, WP includes. Trying to look for the, oh, my voice just cracked. Trying to look for a login, maybe under blog. See if we can find that shiitake mushroom. Okay. I thought that there would have been. Oh, hey, what do you know? Puh! Look at the black Irish there, laddie. So, the account that we are manipulating here, which was the admin account that we just changed the password for that salt of this here to this here. Now we just need to remember what the HE Dumple lampshades was. Oh, pff. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Remind me later. What is this? Administration email verification. Please verify that you will stay in your lane and not get into other people's Kool-Aid, knowing damn well you don't know what the flavor is. All right. I mean, thank you very much for that notification there. I will be more cautious while I enter in the site here. And we'll just click remind me later and move it along. At least it's not frozen. Looks like it's doing something. Alrighty-o. Okay, cool. So, now that we're in WordPress, one of the routine patterns that I've noticed, and this should be our default that we always do, once we get access into a WordPress site, we should always immediately go straight to Appearance, Theme Editor, and look for the 404 template, which is right here. And what this is this 404. This is an error, obviously an error page. If ever like somebody hits like the wrong location or the wrong like site there, right? This is pretty much a generic. Oh, you can't find that, can't find what you're looking for, so maybe you need to go someplace else with that, with your stanky behind type of a vibe, right? So how we can work around this is we could put a PHP reverse shell into this here. So if ever like a page is navigated to incorrectly or whichever, instead of it going to this default 404 error, it'll immediately go to our PHP reverse shell and trigger that. So let's go and look for our PHP reverse shell here. This is nice to grab that, and then we go over here. This is an annoying two-part process that I hate having to do repeatedly every time I have to touch this freaking joint, which is run wget, grab this here. Now let's move this and change it to simply PRS. Okay, now that we have that done, let's get our IP address. Let's go ahead and grab that, highlight that. I got an ergonomic mouse and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it. Let's see, we're in the, oh yeah, that's right. There we are. Okay, so let's go all the way down to our IP section. Let's change the IP section, save that. So now let us open this. Let us go to this folder here. Open this. Okay. Copy all of that. And we will replace this with this here. So, and keep in mind of our port that we're going to be setting our netcat listener on, which is 1234. Okay, what fatal errors are you talking about? And change by some of the means of the what? Let's see. Unable to communicate back with the site to check fatal errors, so the PHP change was reverted. You need to upload your PHP file. Okay, so what I have to, so what do I gotta do instead on this thing? Let's double check what this shiitake. Let's scroll all the way up. Hang on, where the hell did my thing go? Okay, so this isn't letting us change it. Let's see if there's a different theme in here instead. Okay, so we got two more. All right, so 2017 can eat an elephant testicle. Let's select 19 instead. So we have another 404 right here. Now let's get this started. Let's get it started in here and scroll down a little bit more. Now let's update this one, see if it lets us. Okay, cool. So it updated successfully. All right, cool. So now that we did that, we're gonna call our reverse shell, and doing that, I'm gonna call 404.php. Let's see. Oops. Wait, what would that path be? Can I open this thing? No. Hold on. Okay, so I could have sworn that there we have to include the theme that we're using in the path. Let me just confirm that. Right, we ran our WP scan. Okay. Let's try this again. Our URL. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Let's, oops. Enumerate all themes, since we need to find uh, the path for that theme. So let's see here. Okay, so we have 2017. So we have, okay, so this is our path to that. But we use 19 instead. So, yep, 2019. All right. Huh. That's super weird. Yeah. Hang on. Maybe if I put... Okay, so it didn't even try. Okay. Maybe this... Maybe that? Okay, so we got rid of that white space. So let's try this again. There we go. All right. Cool. Yeah, I knew something was off. All right. So for future reference, when we're testing these out, we do know that like the theme that we're using is 2019, and the file path is going to follow the host name and the theme that is like the WP content, the theme, and what theme that we're using. And there is everything. This is everything that's in this path of 2019. So now we called it. Yay, yay. We have a shell. We have a shelly, shell. And we're off to the races. So let's go with ls here. So we are in the home folder. The first thing that we want to do, let's see what all users. Actually, let's start with history first because nothing. All right. So first things first, who am I? www, which is our mainly like our main go-to username that we normally always get. Host name, midnight. Uname is A. Okay. So we got our kernel information. So now let's start our enumeration. Let's go over to home, see who's in here. We have Je sais. Is that how you pronounce it? Je sais? Or Jose? Jose? Josie and the Pussycats? Me? Oh, Jose. My bad. Sorry. Sorry, I got a couple of letters mixed up there. All right. So now that we are here, let's see what's in his folder. Let's see what's in Jose's folder. All right. We got our local and user.txt file. Am I reading them to you? No. Now let us try to look up. Let's go over to our temp folder. Manual check to see if we can find some special binaries. Let's go with find dash perm. Speaking of which, I don't know if they're coming back or not. I might get one myself. You didn't hear me say that out loud. Okay, moving on. All right. Type. There we go. Type. F2. And dev null, I believe, and I think this should locate special binaries for us that we could attempt to use for priv-esque lation. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. We have a pause thing here. Hopefully, it's gonna show us something. Maybe soon. Okay, and it's not. You stink on ice. So let's do a let's get a different shell here. Cause this thing is taking it upon itself to go doo-doo with my Escalade, give me all these problems that I don't need. Alright, so let's copy this entire line. And let's make some adjustments. Let's change this to Bash and this to Python 3. Go back here. And now we have a better looking shell. Alright, so let us do a little bit more navigating. Now, where is that? Oh, right. Sorry. Okay, let's see if we could find the WP content. WP? Yeah, WP for WordPress. I think it's www, right? And it should say... Yep, there we go. Okay, WordPress and our... where is it? Where is it? There it is. Our WP config. This normally has login credentials in them. So whenever we're dealing with WordPress, we can always double back and then look to see if we have user credentials like we see here. Okay, so we see Je has a password of all those numbers that I'm not repeating, right? Okay, so let us use this to now check. Oops, hang on one second. Let's see if we can switch users here. Switch user. Just oh. Okay, stink on icy fruit. Okay, let's see. Let us see if this can be for SSH. Where's my... There you are. Okay, 133.88. Ha! Alright, so that is Justice. Login credentials. We're able to log in SSH as Juicy J. And let's see what Juicy J can do up in here. So let's go sudo -l and Josie can't do jack. Alright, well, sucks to be in your friggin' hat. Jeepers. Alright, let's see. Let us go to, hold on. Let's just go over to here. Let's put this vertical. I forgot. There we go. Okay. It's under Prevesc. Okay. Alright, cool. And let's start up our HTTP Sueva. Let's run our wget. Put in our address in here. I totally forgot to change it to port 80. Pick up our limps. Okay. Close this out. Okay, let's see what this can find for us here. right. Alright, so nothing there. Let us begin scrolling down. Okay, we have GCC. Where did I see that at? There it is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have GCC, we have a compiler. Let's keep going. Okay. Cron jobs. Okay, looks like Juicy J is the only person who's on here. Let's keep going. Alright. Let's keep going with the scrolling. Anything? No, nothing. Okay. Interesting files. Alright. Where? I don't see where the special binaries are. So you should see those. Where are the special binaries at? Come on, where are you? Where are you? Nothing. Huh. That is interesting. It's not showing any special binaries in here. Let's see. Okay. Let's find the Linux command for doing that. Hold on. Special binaries. I don't see it in our results here, but we should have it. Okay, now where the hell is this? What the hell is it giving me this for? Man. Alright, so let's look up how to get these special binaries. Yeah, this is what I entered right here. Try this again. Ah, there we go. All right, must have mistyped. Okay, so let's see what we got here. All right, so we have our generic ones because this is normally here, this is normally here, this is normally here. The status, what's that? I don't think that's normal. So I know these two are changing shells, right? You mount. Yes, this one looks a little bit weird. Alright, so let's see what this one is in our get the fork out of here. Bins. What was this called? It was called status. Okay, so let's look that up. Status. Huh. Okay, so we don't have anything there. I mean, okay. All right, so let's do some digging into what is actually in this file here. So let's run strings, this path here, and let's see what we got. Alright, okay, so it looks like this starts an SSH server, which is this here. Alright, so it's looking for the word service and an SSH server, okay. So let's see if we can read it from where we're at. So let's export this path to read to our temp folder. So how we do that, we're just gonna let me go in, type in export path equals temp path. Okay. So this looks for a file called service, which calls it SSH server. So a file called service is something that we could play with. So now we have able to read files from path here, from temp here. This is what we did there. So now let's create a file that's called service, not service. There we are. Now instead of actually never mind, I'll do it like this instead, because it's just like a simple line. Let's just go ahead and echo bin sh to service, right? Okay, so now we created the file here. Now let's make service executable. Crap, oops. Okay, make it executable. So now if we call the path, then we should get a shell here. All right, so when it calls this, so we changed, sorry, my brain just farted. So we pretty much changed, we found this service, this file here called service that has a special binary set to it. Now we don't know where it was, so we created our own and we put it in a path of a folder that we have access to currently, which is a temp folder. Then we created a file with that same name, service, but instead of it calling SSH server, then we're having it call a shell itself. So now let's call the full path. Let's call that special binary. So meaning that we call this here. Okay. All right. So now we called it, and now we're dropped to a shell here. So let's run ID, see who we are, and looks like we are root. Congratulations on that. Thank you. Give myself a pat on the back, and give yourself a pat on the back too for having fun with me on this thing. So let's go over to our root folder, and here we are. We have our proof, and we have our root. Cool. So that was pretty much everything regarding that. Good, less than an hour. That's pretty well. Definitely a good accomplishment there. Definitely had a good time doing this one. Thank you very much for joining me again on this one. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on future content. Drop a comment. Let me know how you guys are doing. What else you would like to see me work on, whichever. As mentioned from last week, I'm still building out my Active Directory videos here to kind of break everything down to where it's easily digestible, like all of my presentations. I'm going to be planning on retaking that exam, the OSCP, either next month or within the next few weeks. I'm pretty much like mentally ready to go for it. There's just some stuff that I just have to gleam over. But that is the end of my nonsensical rambling. Thank you very much for having fun with me on here. I am Shaw Ronan, and I am out. Deuces.